Okie dokie, so welcome to Batch Posting. Happy Monday night. Thank you guys for attending this for yourself and your business. So kudos to you, right? So something we want to do is we're going to get a little uncomfortable during this batch posting. It's going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. Britt and I were just on the phone and we were talking about it to where at some point in time, this is going to sound repetitive. Or if you are brand new, you will catch on to the fact that maybe we sound like a broken record. And that is not what we are here to serve up to you, but to give you ideas as to what to post about within your business, what to post about on social media. How does that all work? A great starting point would be within the few graphics that are listed under the batch posting section within the guides of our team page Beyond a Million. But what we want to do tonight, we're going to kick it off right now, where if you are in a spot to where you can turn on your camera, we encourage you to turn on your camera. The reason being is that sometimes we sit here on meetings, we all turn our cameras off. Maybe we're like, listen, I look like a hot mess express. Like I don't care if you look busted. I don't care. Like, hi, like if we did a zoom in, you would see it all, right? But to also show all of the other faces here within this community as well, especially for those that are new. You really don't connect with, just a black screen. It's very hard to, right? And it also changes the energy within the room. Now, if you are like, sitting on the toilet, cool, don't turn on your camera. I appreciate you for not doing that, right? Or if you're naked, don't turn it on, okay? But if you're at a point where you can turn it on, right, we encourage you to do so. It allows you to step outside your comfort zone. Maybe you're like, listen, I've never even turned my camera on before. Cool, let tonight be your first night. But then we can also see each other's faces. There's a few things we're going to talk about. There's a few things we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to talk about the importance of going live. And you might be like, okay, guys, we've heard this before. We get it. I go live. But we're also going to have a little bit of an open mic night to have questions come through, calling everyone, hey, that's what we're here to do. That's what Britt and I kind of balance each other out in a really cool way. I was telling her how I was listening to a podcast where in business, you have a cheerleader, right? And then you also have a coach. The cheerleader is rooting you on, but when you are looking for some tough love where it's no, you're doing it wrong, this is how to do it, that's Britt. Britt's the coach. And I'm like, yes, get it. You're doing, let's go. And Britt's like, hold your horses. We need to switch a few things up. We got to do da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, bang, and go, right? And I was like, see, this podcast is speaking to me for a reason. I'm like, Britt pulled out the coach, and I'm like, I don't even know how to cheerlead. I wasn't even a cheerleader. But hopefully you're catching the vibe that we're putting down tonight. So we're going to go over a few key pieces, a few important things, and then we want to open up the floor to you to ask those questions, because we have found that, even after batch posting, we've been doing this, since late October, early November, somewhere around there. And to this day, there are still questions of, I don't know what to post in my business. Has anyone felt at any given point or any given day where you were like, oh, I just don't know what to post about today? Say yes or no in the comments, because this is going to show people that A, you're not alone, and B, there is room for questions, there is room for growth, and we need to talk about it, right? We need to talk about it, because if you are still sitting at a point where you're like, I don't know who I'm serving, I don't know who I'm speaking to, I don't know what my ideal audience looks like, I'm just kind of posting and kind of hoping that someone comments or maybe says yes and votes on my poll, or ends up seeing, okay, we got a lot to talk about then tonight. We got a lot to talk about. So this was a perfect idea that Britt had in regards to an open mic night. Britt, you want me to, I'm going to touch in on some stuff about live, and do you want to take it away?
Yes, I just want to also tell you guys, first and foremost, Katie and I, she said, I'm the coach and she's the cheerleader, but this is a safe space, right? We have created this environment where you guys can feel at home. And I know a lot of times, a lot of people don't feel connected with their upline. You may feel like, oh my gosh, we don't connect on this level or that level. Guys, that's what Katie and I are here for, right? It's not to replace your upline. It's just to say, hey, guess what? I hear you. We understand you. I only participate in solution-focused conversations, okay? So when you guys do the open mic whenever we come in and say, okay, you know what, it's open mic time. Make sure that it's not complaining, but we're trying to find solutions for your problems, okay? And the first thing that I encourage you guys to do is to look at yourself. Look at self and say, hey, what can I do differently? And allow Katie and I to kind of bounce our ideas off on you to kind of pretty much bring it into where we can set you up for success, okay? So that's all I have before we open it up. Katie, you can go into lives and then we can take it back to the open mic.
Yes. So I know we've talked about this on here before in regards to going live on Facebook. I was listening to a podcast the other night and it was all about going live within your business, specifically in the field, within the industry of network marketing. That's what we're a part of, right? And we talk about it all the time, but we also want to make sure that we are going live, even if it's not about business or the product. Because if we are only posting, if we are only going live and it only has to do about the product, or we're only trying to make a sale, or we're only trying to get you to join our team, like that's not what we stand for. That's a part of our story, but you are not Thrive. You are not your 3 steps. You are not a promoter pack, right? You have so much more value to share than that. And what was asked in this podcast that I was listening to, and I want you guys to participate in the chat, if someone said you have to go live and talk about something for 10 minutes straight, 10 minutes talking seems, it's a lot longer than you think when you're sitting there with a timer. You have to go on live and talk about something for 10 minutes straight, or you owe me $10,000. What would you go live and talk about? Drop it in the chat. What would you go live and talk about that you were like, I know I can talk about this for 10 minutes straight. No doubt. Bet I'll probably do it for 15. Mental health, mindset, Wednesday, man, I feel that. Working out, physical therapy, planning a wedding during COVID, mindset, my changes, mental health, nursing, lashes. Ooh, lashes and beauty. Yes, Liz. Yes. Facebook out. Yes, Sarah. I mean, queen, right? Horses, my life as a nurse. School. Okay, scuba diving resorts. Bet. Let's go. I did it. I kind of got a little scared. Cleaning, toddlers, blended family. Do you see all of this? Do you see all of that? Now look at what you wrote. Have you ever gone live about that before? That is serving up value to your community to attract your like-minded people, to attract those that are within, that have similar interests, that are going through the same things. When you connect with people off of that, and there's still more coming through. So see, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I see all of this. Take note. If you vibe with any of these things on here, jot it down on a piece of paper, in your phone, something. But this is what you should be talking about. Because like I said before, we never want to go live on Facebook or live on Instagram. We're like, oh, here she is. She's got a sale, or she's trying to sell me on something. This is what's going to get you to connect with your people. Not the 3 steps. They have no idea what the hell you're talking about. They've never used it before. It's not going to be about the business. They don't know what it entails. They're still too scared to do it, right? They haven't done it yet. So this is how you find your people. So I encourage you that while you were sitting here and planning your week out, if you have more than one thing listed here, which I saw there were some people that listed multiple things, go live about that. Talk about that. Maybe do a weekly thing. I'm looking at, let me see if I can come up with a quick, I don't know, Mom Mondays. Like, I don't know. That's just, if you're a mom, right? You can talk about that. Or if it's about giving tips and tricks for cleaning your house, right? Or maybe, and you can do that on a weekly basis, where every Tuesday, tips and tricks with fill in the blank. Or like talking about your dog. I mean, we can do that any day, right? But I just want you to look at what you wrote down, and I want you to factor that into your batch posting. This is not just about who can get a sale. If you have no leads, if you have no conversations happening, if you are not connecting with people, you have no sales, right? That's where the holdup is. I'm just checking the chat really quick. Yes, I'm so glad this is hit. Okay, is that anyone else feeling this? Like, or am I just talking gibberish? Like, or is it just like, well, don't, there she goes again on a tangent. Like, Kate, shut up, right? So I'm hoping this is hitting. Like, I'm okay. I'm seeing some people laughing. I'm hoping this is hitting. So factor that into your batch posting. If you have multiple things, again, this is like tying back. If those things aren't in your pillars, what you doing? What are you doing? Tie those into your pillars. You should be talking about your pillars every week, tying in maybe where the products helped. My dogs are one of my pillars, tied that into a post yesterday, right? Being home, being able to work from home full time, even on a Sunday, because I used to work on weekends and I used to have to take time off, or I was taking time off and I wasn't paid for it, or now I'm using a sick day or this or that. But I tied it into the business without really talking about the business, right? But that was one of my pillars, so I can speak on it. But take note of everything that you wrote down and go live about it this week. Make it a weekly thing, whether it's every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or even on the weekends. And make it something to where your audience knows, I know I'm going to get a piece of value out of Liberty or Lee or Danielle or Sarah or Blakely or Liz about, I know I'm going to get value out of that person in regards to this topic, which I show interest in. That is what is going to keep people coming back. That is what's going to keep people's eyes glued to your page saying, yep, I know she's going live or he's going live at this time every Thursday. And I know I'm going to get something of it. So always providing that value every single week. And then on top of that, that is when we factor in a opportunity live. That's when we're talking about the product. That's when we're talking about the business, right? If we're only going live 3 times a week about the business, people are gonna be like, I already heard you yesterday, girl. Like, calm down. But that is what's going to keep them coming back. And I'm gonna leave it with this. If you are going live once a week right now, well, let's start with 0. If you're going live 0 times a week right now, guess what your new minimum is? 1 time a week. If you're going live 1 time a week right now, guess what your new minimum is? 2 times a week. If you're going 2, now your new minimum's 3. If you're going 3, guess what? Your new minimum's 4. And if it's 5, until you run out of, once you hit 7, and then we're there, and then we're like, what up? You can't get rid of me. Like I'm like a disease, right? You just cannot get rid of me. I'm always going to be in your face, and I'm always going to be talking to you about something. So look at your schedule now and be honest with yourself. Don't sit here and be like, yeah, I'm going live like 3 times a week if you're not, right? Be honest, challenge yourself. It's uncomfortable. I'm sweating, like if we're being honest, right? It's very uncomfortable. You're going to stumble over your words. It's your first time going live. You're going to mess up. Let's be honest. Like you're going to mess up. You're going to fumble. You're going to be like, I don't even know why I'm on here. I already forgot. Like my name's, I don't even know. Okay. So that's it, right? That's what's going to happen. I go back to my lives from 4 years ago. I was like, what were you doing, Kate? Like, thank God we've changed a little bit. So just throw the whole live away. I've had those where I'm like, what were you even doing? Okay. I'm like, but don't delete it, because also it's going to show you growth along the way. It's going to show your people, listen, I still mess up. 4 years later. You still mess up no matter what rank you're at. It doesn't matter. So you'll see growth over time. And then you can also show and be an example for your team or your future team that like, I'm showing up and getting uncomfortable. I encourage you to do the same thing. Even, oh my God, even on corporate call, Diane, I will never live that down. Ass point. Whole ass point. And it was a whole mess. I can't. But that's what I wanted to share with you is too often too much. I'm challenging myself to go live once a day throughout the month of March. So
Katie, can I tap in on that real quick?
Tap it.
Okay, so guys, I want you to stop, and I'm not trying to sit here and say that you guys have to do the things that we as your leaders do. I can tell you right now, one thing that Katie said this morning that actually stuck out on the MMM was you mimic what works. Guys, I can tell you right now, I would not be an 80K leader if I was not going live and doing opportunity live events. I would not be where I'm at right now, hands down, if I was not willing to get uncomfortable, okay? I can tell you, if you feel like it's too much, it's probably too much for you, which means what? You're growing. You're going to be stretched in this season. Do it. That right there should tell you, absolutely, you know what? Let me do it, right? Hands down, just do it. Like Nike, just do it. I know Coop. I admire Coop. And I mean, Coop is like hands down like the queen, right? She goes live on Instagram every single day. She does not miss a day. Which, look at where she's at, guys. She brings in over $500,000 a month in sales and team sales. That's what you want to strive to bring in whenever you have a team that like she has. Like, she leads from the front every single day. You cannot expect a new promoter to come in and join your team and do the things that you're not willing to do yourself. Okay, so keep that in mind. I tell people all the time, would you hire or fire yourself? How would you grade yourself, guys? Would you grade yourself, 80, a 90, 100? Like, are you giving 100% every single day? If the answer is no, and I tell you right now, you got to go hard, man. This is the season. I tell you guys this every single Monday. This is the season where you want to level up, where you want to get uncomfortable, where you want to do the hard craft, right? This is the season right now. So I can tell you it's going to pay off months from now, hands down, period, right? So that's what I have to add on that, guys. Live on any social media. Me personally, I do 2 and 2. So I do 2 on Facebook, 2 on Instagram. My goal is to go live every single day on Instagram because I look at the girls who I look up to. Like, one of my good friends is Brittany Hernandez. Brittany Hernandez, she goes live. She's a side sister of mine, but she goes live every single day over on Instagram. Coop goes live over on Instagram. I haven't made it there yet. And like Katie said, like, I'm just going to one up where I've been. So before I used to do 1 on Instagram, I'm now upping that to 2. So as I continue to grow, of course, that number is going to go higher. But that's what I'm going to force myself to do is 2 on Instagram, 2 on Facebook. Of course, those are going to be Opportunity Live events sprinkled in there as well. So my one Opportunity Live event that's going to be scheduled, I want you guys to talk about that real quick too. If you are afraid to go live, Opportunity Live events is the perfect time to hop on and go live with an upline or a side sister, hands down. If you feel like, hey, I don't know what the heck I'm going to talk about, let your upline do the talking. Let someone who has a little bit more of experience do the talking for you. Okay, it's nothing wrong with you being a person that's going to interview. Like, heck, you can inbox me and say, hey, Britt, can we go live tomorrow at this time? If I'm available, then yeah, you interview me. Let me do all the talking, right? When you make these events, guys, make it in enough time so where you can invite people that you know that can benefit from the products or the business, okay? Don't just make an Opportunity Live event and just have it sit there. Invite people, guys. I'm tell you right now, invite people, and not just thrivers, right? Invite people that's your friends, maybe friends from your Facebook groups, different things like that, guys. But invite people because you never know who may hear a story, a testimony, and say, hey, man, you know what? Maybe this is like the time for me to join, right? And I always encourage people to share my lives. I say, well, hey, you know what? This may not be for you. It may be for somebody else. That live is now shared, and guess what, guys? There's more eyes. There's more eyes on you and what you have in your hands, right? But you won't know if you don't go out there and do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Just do it, okay? So that's what I have to add on the lives. Katie, if you want me to jump into the open mic, I definitely can. That's like my favorite part right now because I want to hear from you guys. I want you guys to tell me or Katie, like, what do you guys need? Like, where's that area where you're like, hey, man, I need help. I want advice on this. How do I do this? Like I said, solution-focused conversation, guys. Katie and I do a lot of one-on-ones, and we hear so much from different downlines on different things that they may have questions about. They're just afraid to come out and say, hey, I need help with that. And so, Liberty, I see your hand raised. Do you want to go ahead and take it? Go ahead, sister.
Yes, I have a question, but I don't know if this is the appropriate forum for it, but I have customers who want to order underneath other customers, and I'm like, yeah, no problem, let me help you. So I go to do it, and there's no start here button. It just takes me right back to the view of the customer's order that I'm looking at. And so I'm wanting to make sure that I do it correctly, and I thought, well, maybe if I just type in their name, it'll populate. But my upline said to be careful because what if there's another Callie Tomlins, and then that's going to mess up, the order of things. So I want to do it right, and I put in a support ticket, and they're so behind. So
I will say on your so if you're already logged into the customer account,
yep,
and there is their link that you click on. If you click on that, it brings you open to a new page, right? and then you go up and you click customer, and then it's repopulating that customer's page, right?
Yes.
So then what you want to do is in that other tab, sign out of their account, refresh that other page that popped up, refresh it, click on customer, and then it'll bring up the login or start here button. Because right now sometimes it happens, they just connect one another and it's like, oh, you're still signed into this account. So once you click on the link, it opens up the page, sign out of that other customer account, and then you can create that new one to refer them under the right person.
Okay. I will look to see, because it looks like it just like disappears. I don't see another tab anywhere. It's like it just
And
goes.
Liberty, you can inbox me. I know she's on my downline. You can inbox me, and maybe if you want to FaceTime me, I can walk you through exactly how to do it.
All right, I'm all over it, because when they're excited to buy, I want them to buy.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, like that's how I do mine. How Laura just said, like you scroll down and then you hit create new account. Then it's gonna automatically take you to a new page to go in and put in all the information. That's normally how I do mine. But like I said, if you inbox me, I can either FaceTime you or something like that, and then we can kind of walk through how to get you set up. All right, one question down. Come on, ladies. What else do you guys have?
I was going to say, I was scrolling up through that chat and I saw about 50 yeses. We've got 47 people on, but you get the math, right?
Okay, Blakely.
Can you want to unmute yourself?
I didn't know I could. Hi. Already learned something. Honestly, I struggle getting promoters. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Who feels that same way? Because we asked this question, I think it was last week, and everyone was like, me, okay. I want you to look at the chat where it's not the only person, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give a little bit, and then Britt, if you have something to add on to this, everything that I've been listening to lately has been, you need to show up as the leader and as the person that you would want to enroll with. But that also involves creating conversation and sharing, again, what we started out this meeting with talking about going live. And maybe you don't need to know yourself as a leader, but there was a reason why every single one of you on here signed up. Someone showed you something. Someone, exemplified some sort of action or some sort of opportunity that struck you, and you were like, I want you as my leader, right? Out of all of us here, out of the thousands and however many, Thrive promoters that there are out there on this social media world, you picked one person for one reason. That doesn't mean you can't learn from other people. I'm not saying that. But exactly, about I love what Sarah said about showing your skills. But that is also, I was listening to another podcast today about borrowing someone's confidence, where sometimes I often hear where I am not confident in my business yet. How do I show up in that manner? You just do it. You just do it and I'm speaking to everyone, because there was a lot of other people that were agreeing with you, Blakely, where they were like, yeah, I feel that same way, where it comes to, and a lot of it comes down to providing value. You are going to provide value in those lives. You're going to, those lives, like the ones that you do on social media, you're going to provide value that other people can connect with. If they don't feel like they can connect with you, they will not invest with you for themselves. And that is just straight fact. That is just being human, because they don't know, A, there's no relationship formed yet. B, they want to see what value that they can get out of you. And they want to know that you will be there every step of the way, which is why we insist every single day to show up in some way, shape, or form for your business, because it could literally take the human brain one day where they were like, they didn't show up, they probably quit, but she's showing up. I'm going to go with her. I'm going to go with him. It's happened. It has happened, right? I'm catching up. Britt, did you want to I'm looking at the
Yeah,
chat.
I want to add to that too, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, what Katie said was exactly what I was going to say. How confident are you? I love telling you guys I am like a baby Beyonce. That did not happen overnight, guys. And I tell you, when I walked into this business, I was scared AF. It took me forever to have a conversation about this business. I didn't know anything about the comp plan. All I wanted was people to join my team, right? And so when I said that, I would push people off, join my team, right? Because all they saw was me wanting them to join me, right? I didn't explain to them why they should join my team. What value was I serving up, right? And a lot of times, guys, I can tell you right now, I utilize my upline. A lot of you guys do not understand how important it is to plug your upline in until you gain that confidence. I can tell you, I didn't message someone for 4 hours. Yeah, I can tell you right now, I have a team of mine that always plugs me in a 3-way. I don't mind doing the talking, guys. I don't mind doing the closing, if you want to call it, right? I want to make sure that you guys are growing. So plug your upline in on those conversations. They may have a little bit more confidence and knowledge than what you have, but I can tell you right now, I would rather plug somebody in versus having someone walk away, okay? So utilize 3 ways. Let your promoter know, like, hey, I have this girl, we talked about X, Y, and Z. I need help. And sit back, guys, and take notes. I tell my team, take notes. This is your moment to be the student, okay? Let me do the talking. Okay, thank you, Braxton.
Hey, Mom.
Hi. You ran into the door. I'm like, let me do the talking, let me do the closing, and you take notes. How am I? Take notes. And guys, if that takes like the first 30 days, I'm hands-on with my promoters. I'm like, plug me in. You get the person on the line, plug me in. On Facebook Messenger, plug me in. Plug me in, guys. And I want you just to listen to the knowledge or the facts that I throw out, and you take that and you make it your own. Don't try to mimic what we say. Make it your own so people can feel comfortable saying yes to you, okay? And like I said, borrow somebody's confidence. People they won't grasp what you have if you come at them and say, well, I mean, the smallest pack is 200, but I mean, we have one that's like 400. No, straight up be like, hey girl, listen, this is what we have, okay? So the $400 pack, this is what you're gonna receive. This is what you're gonna, this is what you're gonna get. Boom, bam, and done. Are you ready to go? Always end it, guys, with that question like, let's go, okay? Positive affirmations, pretty much like, let's go and let's do this, okay? So know that confidence is gonna speak louder than any knowledge that you give them, okay? I can tell you right now, I knew nothing about a $400 pack, right? I just knew that was the best bang for my buck. I didn't know what came in the pack. Courtney did not sit there and tell me anything about that package, right? I can tell you that right now. She was like, this is the best deal. You need to go with the $400 pack. Boom, bam, we're done, right? I got the box. I was like, okay, crap. Like, I got all this product, right? But that was her confidence telling me, like, she made that decision for me. Her education or her knowledge in this was, was something that I was just like, okay, let me go ahead and get it, right? I didn't question that. Now, had my, if I would have said like, oh, well, I'm on a budget, this and that, then maybe we would have had that conversation. But guys, I didn't know what came in that package. I was just ready to go, right? So know that she said it's enough for you and your husband. Yes, same thing, Diane. She was like, it's enough for you and your husband. I'm like, bet, let's go, right? So know that, guys, know that your confidence is going to speak over any type of educational knowledge. Like, don't try to dot your I's and cross your T's. Like, just go in there with confidence, okay?
And I think also providing more behind the scenes as to what you actually do, and whether that's something with your team. What I did Rebecca and I did an opportunity live last week. I propped up my phone behind it and I was showing it on Instagram, right? Because I want to give them a behind the scenes look as to what it actually looks like. If it's I've seen people where they've done some coaching calls where they've set up their phone and they've given a behind the scene look as to what a one-on-one session would look like, with you as a leader, right? And that's where, when you are having that conversation, when you are talking to someone, who knows what they're talking about, you've already put that trust in them. They said, get this one. Like, this is, you have this, this, and this. This is your best option. Bet. Cool. Done. So is that helping whatsoever for, I mean, Blakely, your question opened up, you know, for so many other people here. It takes time too, but it also takes a lot of action. It takes action in the sense of borrowing that confidence from someone else. I didn't know what I was doing either when I made the switch over here. I was like, how the hell am I going to go from selling an $11 product to a $150 product to a $400 promoter pack? Like, what are you, like, what? Right? But I borrowed that confidence from people that have been here longer. I trust their journey. And guess what? I'm going to step it up. And I want to end it with one thing as far as like this question. Your energy says everything about it. Just like Britt was saying in a conversation. Well, there's like, there's no energy behind that. You're not excited about it for them. And you're already talking them down. They're like, I don't know if this is the best decision for me now. Same thing with going live. Same thing even when it comes to literally sending someone a message. People catch your vibes. Your energy comes off. Like when you are going live, and let's say I was like, well, so, you know, like I have like, you know, I'm part of this business. And, you know, there's great opportunity behind it, you know, and, you know, I love it. I love the products. And you know, this business is just like, we have so many meetings like that. And I'm like, shut up, get off live, Kate, shut up. Right? You've already X'd out of it. You're like, I can't even deal with that if that's what the opportunity consists of, right? So your energy has a lot to do with it as well. As far as getting people excited. I heard this, another quote where every single day in your business, you should be relaunching it every damn day. And that hit home and I was like, oh my God, I feel that. Where I was like, relaunch, like, if you're like, oh, I feel stuck, go relaunch it. Go act like this was day one. And you're like, my package isn't even here yet, but I'm excited. Like, we're doing it. Okay. Act like you are relaunching your business every single day and stay in launch mode. Because sometimes if the energy or the excitement fizzles out, bring it back, and then just serve it to your people. I thought I saw a raised hand. I don't really know where it went. It was like showing a hand at the bottom of the screen, but it was just like a blue hand. And I don't know whose it was. It was like a little icon. I don't know. I don't even know. Not like someone was physically like, hey, but it said in the chat, someone raised their hand.
Okay, so if you have a question, you have to have your camera on.
Bet.
I know y'all have questions. It's 49 of y'all.
I'll go scroll back up through and look at everybody that said, yes, me. I'll sound comfy like that teacher.
Do you have a baby? You unmute yourself and go for it, okay?
Thank you. Okay, so last week, Britt, you said that you get out 10 samples a week. I think that's what you said. And I was like, how? Because I do the Duck Duck Goose and I like warm message people, or like people ask questions, I'll offer sample packs. But like a lot of times I'll make a sample post and there's crickets, or there's like a bunch of thrivers like, yay. Or like I can only ever get out free ones, which is fine, but eventually it starts to cost me a lot of money. So I just wanted all the tips for getting samples out.
Okay, so one or two ways that you can do this. Whenever I first started out, I can tell you I was just like you. I would make a post, do a Duck Duck Goose, and literally no one would pretty much bite, right? So I started doing birthdays. So I realized that every single day I have somebody that pops up with a birthday. That was my opportunity to go in and pretty much stroll through their page, see what their life was like, right? If it was a mom, like I think I said this the other day on Katie's MMM, I was actually getting ready to do a happy birthday shout out to one of my friends, found out that she just recently had a new baby. And hello, a new mom wants what? Energy, right? So I could have easily just said, happy birthday, girl, wishing you nothing but the best, yada, yada, yada. Or I could have stopped and said, hey, happy birthday. Oh my gosh, congratulations on your new baby. Let me put a gift in the mail for you guys, right? Can you send me your address? I can tell you right now, if somebody said, Brittany, I have a gift, I'm giving them my address right now. I don't care what the gift is. It could be a pen. I want that gift, right? That's just me. So I did that for the longest, guys. Yes, it was me utilizing my free products, but I can tell you right now, my enrollments have went up because I have been sampling out to the right people. Okay, hands down. My enrollments for the past couple of months were like ugly. Here lately, like I have had people out of nowhere inbox me like, hey, I'm ready to go. Hey, that sample pack, I'm ready to go, right? Or even if you have someone, let's say you have a current customer right now, what's the best way to get them thriving for free? Having them refer to people, right? So then you can also say, instead of you referring to people to me, like, well, I would say, you know, you can refer to people to me. Let me put a sample pack in the mail for them. And if you do that in enough time before the end of the month, hey, guess what? You got that person thriving for free now. You have 2 new customers. And just think like if you've done that with every one of your customers that you have in your back office right now as a current customer. You have them thriving for free, you have 2 new customers, and you can just continuously grow like that, right? That's another way that you can sample out. Also, guys, on your stories, whenever you're out there talking, I know for a fact, Caitlin Reeves did this last month or the month before. It was hands down the best thing ever. So you know how we do the polls over on your stories, right? You can have yes or no, whatever, right? So she did one where it was like, do you need more energy? Yes or no. Do you sleep well at night? Yes or no. And so she listed out like 5 different things. By the end of it, she says, hey, if you answered no to this or whatever, you know, I'm going to inbox you. That was her way of getting those samples in people's hands, right? Do you require? Absolutely. Hands down, because especially right now, because we do need the 10 free customer accounts, I can tell you, you definitely want to go ahead and create them a profile. And let me tell you why. I had one of my promoters call me the other night and she says, hey, this potential that I had, I gave her a sample pack. She called me. She was actually sitting down with another thriver getting ready to log in, but did not know her password. I said, well, wait, did you create her a customer profile? She says, yes. That is your customer, okay? That customer is your customer. That person could not go and enroll with somebody else because we already created them an account. The worst thing that you will ever want to do is to give someone a free sample pack and have them go sign up with somebody else. I can tell you right now, we don't do that over here, but it has been done before. But I can tell you, if you do it the right way, you stay in contact with your sample pack customers, you can have that relationship. So whenever they are ready, guess what? They have their promoter. My promoter name is Tegan. I'm going to go back to her. And the other person doesn't get that sale, right? So keep that in mind. Anytime that you go in and you sample out anyone, create them a free customer profile, hands down. And because the company sends out emails. Guys, customers get the same emails that we do whenever a promo rolls out, right? So let's say that customer receives that email, you follow up with them, and you say, hey, girl, I know it's been 2 weeks since we talked about you being on those samples. Hey, we have this promo going on right now. You probably received the email. Let's get you going. Because now, guess what? They saw the email. Now they have you in their inbox, or you send them a message. They are now ready to go, right? So keep that in mind, guys. That's very, very vital to create that free customer profile, hands down. But that's how I do my samples. It is only because I do have a ton of products, but at the same time, I know that the ratio of me sending out more sample packs are going to bring in more customers, which is going to give me more credits to use and going to continue just to replenish my business, hands down.
I'm going to throw in too, like, because I'm thinking of the way that like if you're, let's say you're slinging out 10 samples a week, or let's say you get 1 out, right? If you have one person that's like, yeah, I want to buy one, or if you're giving them away for free right at this point, right? So let's say you're like, okay, cool, right? You get them in the system, you create them a customer account, you send out the trial, whether it's Cloud Office or via your own stash. In that moment, when they are excited, learn this from another podcast. If you're not doing self-development, it's probably why it's hard to create content, right? Literally was saying, ask for the sale when it comes to asking for 2 referrals. Now, I'm not saying go ask them to purchase something. Hear me on this. When someone says, I want to give this a try, and they're like, yeah, I'm really excited, get them in that excited moment. And this is where they say, great, thanks. thanks so much. Like, I'm excited to get it. I'll let you know when it comes in the mail. I say, perfect. Like, I'm so excited for you. Do you know 2 people that would be as excited to try these 3 steps as we are? Question mark. Do you know? Guess what? There's 2 referrals. You're going to put them under their link. You're going to send out 2 more trials, and you do that for every freaking person. So again, I'm so excited for you! Exclamation point, smiley face. Do you know 2 more people that would be as excited about this as we are? Question mark. Create urgency. I would love to send 2 of your friends a free trial as well, right?
And Kate, to add to that, guys, if you do not know, like, my background was outside oil field sales, and that was exactly what we had to do. If I signed the customer up, they had to, like, I was like, not had to, but like, I would use those same words. Hey, do you know anyone else that can utilize this program that we just, got you on? And my conversation with that new person was pretty much the same thing. Like, hey, I just saved so-and-so $100 and some odd by switching over. Are you ready to go? It was like right then. I had to make that transfer, like, hands down, guys. That is so, so true. And it actually works, hands down.
And if someone says, I don't know anyone, I'm going to be like, what? You got a sibling? You got a parent? You got, like, I don't know, a brother, a sister? They say, no. I'm like, I can't help you anyway. I can't even help you, okay? But it's fine. Just be like, all right, cool. And if they say, yeah, let me think about it, I say, let me know ASAP. I only have 5 more. They'll be gone before the end of the night. Create urgency. Even if you don't, like, and this is going to sound so terrible, but if you don't have 5, and let's say you might have 1 or 2 left before the end of the night, create the urgency. You want them in that excited moment so you can then share it with other people. And that's a strategy where I remember the exact one that you were talking about, where that is not something you want to do every day. That is not something you want. I mean, for me, if I'm going to do a poll like that, I'm probably going to do it, I don't know, maybe once a month. That's just me. Yeah, because if I'm doing it every week, people are like, oh shit, here we go again. Same questionnaire, same thing. And we're like, I did this last week, no thanks. Tap, 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 and they go through, right? So, and if it's not coming from people in polls, again, this is where you can't wait for the sale to come to you. You can't wait for someone to vote on a poll. I will tell you, I don't really think, like, my sales don't come from polls. They don't. They come from the DMs. They come from the messenger. That's where it happens, with follow-ups, with reaching out to people to create conversation. That's where it happens. So do not get discouraged if it's like, only Diane voted on my poll, guys. That's happened. Like, legit. Like, that has happened before.
I get so excited, and I'm like,
I swipe up, I'm like, Diane, it's your hit. Like, but that happens. Do not be discouraged from it. But this is where go live about trials. Create that excitement. Oh, I love it. I love it. It gets my heart racing. I'm like, and then I send a message. I'm like, hey, do you want information about the business? Like an ass,
Don't stop voting on my polls, please.
Yeah. But also go live about trials too. Again, create the excitement. If I'm sitting here, where the hell is my product? And I'm holding it up and I'm like, these are great, give me energy. And, this, I really wanted chocolate, but I'm eating birthday cake, but like, it's good. Like, create excitement, create urgency, tell people you only have X amount. And if they want info, drop the word info. Make a call to action in your lives. If you don't have call to actions in your lives, that's why people aren't commenting, right? If you want more info about this, drop info. If you're looking for energy, because sis, like, I used to live off of coffee, you better drop that word coffee right now. Like, let's go. We need to fix this, right? Create that urgency. Dedicated. I'm here for it. I am here for it. So I hope that helps with trials. And it's also just talking about it. Have a set, like, whether every Tuesday you're talking about trials, maybe it's Tuesdays and Thursdays you're talking about them. Pick one day, and that's your day that you offer your trial. So people know, and say, like, I'm sending them out on Wednesday. If you want them in the mail, Let me know ASAP. I've got X amount. Drop this word in the live. Vote on this poll on the next slide. Send me a DM with the word trial. I don't know. You pick it.
Yeah. I think Latoya has a question. I see the hand on her screen. You can definitely unmute yourself, Mama.
Okay. Hey guys. All right. My question is, I feel like I'm dating people like a lot. Like I feel like I'm constantly in this like building relationships, but I'm never getting to a point where it seems like I'm executing to, like get a sale or, and I'm like, is it me? Is it me? Am I not confident about sharing a business or, I'm just like, I'm in groups and I'm constantly building and, building relationships, but I'm just not getting the conversion, part as yet. So I'm just, yeah. Did I ask a question?
I can tell you, because you are one of mine, I can tell you exactly. I feel like a lot of times we miss that marker because we don't want to step on anybody's toes. We want to come off as nice and polite and there is nothing wrong with that, right? But after 3 conversations, yes. Okay. So at some point, you have to be bold enough to go out there and ask for the business, right? You got to say, hey, look, listen, I have what you need. Let's go ahead and let's get you started today, right? Those are those conversational pieces because you have to know that, let's like if I went into the Cadillac dealership to go buy my car, right? And the guy is just saying, oh, Brittany, you may like this one. And then we have this one over here. And then what about that one right there, right? And now he's putting the ball in my court, right? So I have the option to walk away or buy that vehicle. Now, if he came to me and said, hey, what are your goals? Like, what kind of car do you need? What are you looking for in a vehicle? And I gave him like, okay, well, you know what? I'm looking for this, and this. He is then going to refer me to the right vehicle. He is not going to let me leave without buying that vehicle, right? Because guess what? He gave me a solution for my needs. When you give them a solution for their needs, you got to wrap that up with something that you know that you have, which is products that's going to work day one, right? So there's no more dating. That guy is not going to let me leave that car dealership. He's not going to say, oh, well, you know what? Let me go over here to Mercedes. He's going to be like, no. Let's go ahead and make this deal work right now, right? And not to sound like a salesy person, but there's only so much conversation that you can do without honing in on what you actually have in your hands. And you got to own it. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you have to own it. Courtney would not have dated me. I can tell you that right now. She told me, hey, this is what I have. You want to get out of debt? You want this? You want to feel better? This is what I have. Are you ready to rock and roll? Right? You have to own that, guys. Point blank and period. If we're tipping-toeing around and we're like, oh, well, I think I have what you need. Oh, well, let's try this. And, oh, this. No, guys, it is straight up. What are your goals? Right? You want to lose more weight? You want more energy? Bet. Let me tell you exactly what I have, right? And I can tell you, like, there's nothing wrong with building that relationship. But once that relationship is at a point where you're like, okay, this is my homegirl. Let's go ahead and have this conversation. Hey, look, I know that we've been talking back and forth. Let's talk about the business. And one of my promoters who went 4K, that's how she hit 4K. She had a customer who had ordered for her for 2 months straight. And so she inboxed her and said, hey, you've ordered for me twice, in the past 2 months. Are you ready to make some money? Now, I can tell you that works for her, right? It may not work for you, but you have to figure out what works for you by having those conversations. The more conversations, the more you're going to be able to get better at that, but you have to bring it home. There's, at some point, you have to be bold enough to ask for the business, period. You just got to say, hey, guess what? I'm ready to rock and roll. Are you ready to rock and roll? And if they say no, then guess what? Okay, bye, Felicia, on to the next. But you have to get that boldness in you guys. I can tell you right now, there is nothing more feeling than having that confidence mixed with that boldness of what you have in your hands is going to work, right? People have to know that. They don't know that if you don't tell them. If you're tiptoeing around and you're like, well, and you're nervous and you're just, all over the place, guys, you have to make sure that what we are providing is going to give them solutions. We know that. Hi, family. Hi, I miss you guys. Not you, Alex. Those kisses are not for you at all. But know that, guys. I remember the time I didn't have the money for a trial, which meant I needed the business. Absolutely. Latoya, I hope that answered your question. And I hope that you guys, if you had the same question, that you guys know, like, write down your I ams, man. That, to me, I feel like whenever you're bold enough to get out there and talk, it's because you have honed in on those I ams and you have that confidence and you've worked on your mindset and you've done all the work. And when you do that work, guys, it's going to be a compound effect that no one can stop what you have, right? So I can tell you right now, self-development is going to be key whenever you're having those conversations, because in your head, in your mind, you have built up this wall that, hey, guess what? I got this. Okay, let me go out here and have the conversation. I know a lot of times when I first came in, guys, I didn't work on my mindset. So it meant that I was dropping the ball on so many deals because I was tiptoeing, I was dating, And now I'm telling you right now, you inbox me, or if I inbox somebody, you better believe we're having a conversation about the business or the products, hands down. I love you. I love your dog. I love your mom group. I love your Peloton bike. I love that. But guess what? We're having these conversations for a reason. When are we going to go ahead and bring it home, right? So know that, guys. Just get bold with it. Hang around me for a little while. Inbox me. Put me on a 3-way, and I'll have you feeling like you're Beyonce too.
I love that. Oh, I love it. And you talk about the business every day. Yeah. And I love how I love how you even commented that, because again, I'm such a nerd. I listened to another podcast and they mentioned this, where someone, a girl that's in network marketing, she said, I didn't post my business for one day. And someone messaged me where she was like, I had a lead. I was talking to this girl about business. I didn't show up one day. Guess what she did? She went and enrolled with someone else because she thought the other girl quit. She was like, I thought you stopped. Like, you didn't post one day. Like, I thought you were like, maybe we're done. Right? So I want you to keep that in your mind too. Sending out samples from birthdays. Yeah. Right now. Yes. Love it. But when, I don't know. I forgot.
Wait, what?
I was about to finish a sentence and it left the window. The window's that way. Makes sense. I have no idea where that sentence was going. But just the fact that, that's what it was. Keeping in the back of your mind that every day we don't show up for business, and the day where it's like, yes, I'm feeling it, then you show up and you're like, oh, no one messaged me about it. Well, yeah, we got like I don't know how many days, how many weeks we got to catch up on, right? That's such an important piece of it. So what about, we've got what time is it? We got a little less than 10 minutes left. So what other, someone else have a question? I mean, there was about 10 or 15 yeses up above in this chat when we first started. What else do you guys have? What things are we struggling with? A lot as to what has happened already, and what has been, I think, a big piece as to the message being conveyed is being bold in a confident, not cocky way. Not like, I'm on 3 steps, or like, you're dead to me. Like, no. It's like, get out. I want nothing. You need to make that real, where it's like in 2021, like, does it involve this? No. Does it involve like you hold it for products? She's like, no. Does it involve me profiting anything off of this conversation? Then I want nothing to do with it. Like, bye. Like,
no, stop.
I can't. But for real, who else has a question? I mean, there's more. I think we've covered 3 or 4 with the main piece of it.
Last question. Last chance.
I'm truly stuck on what to post daily. I'm reading this out loud just because I know there's multiple people that feel like this. I've never actually posted daily prior to this business. So,
well, Samantha, first and foremost, you gotta cut your camera on. Sorry.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
I'm gonna find you.
Wiggle my bun.
Oh, I found her.
I'm such a creep.
Okay, Samantha, talk to us. You look so pretty.
Oh, thank you. I don't feel like it though. I am just honestly, I don't really know what to post on a daily basis. I'm just kind of confused. I've talked to Renee about it, but I feel kind of like I just don't know what to post. She was telling me just to post kind of like what, why I signed up, but I don't feel like I've got that confidence enough to share why I signed up for the most part, just because it is pretty personal. So I don't really know where to go from there.
If I can say one sentence, is vulnerability is key. And that takes some time to step into, but being vulnerable is what connects you with real humans. I heard someone on another podcast, I sound like a broken record, where she was saying like, this is the real this is the real people business. This is a real people industry. This isn't, the industry where it's like, oh yeah, I've made it in life. Let me sign up and like invest millions into a network marketing company. That's not what this is about. But as you grow in your business and self-development, which is key, like if you're not doing that every single day, take 10 minutes and plug into it, whether it's something that you're listening to, put on some headphones, read a freaking book, something that grows your mind and that speaks to you. You will find it. I don't want to say being vulnerable gets any easier. I don't want to say that, but you are more willing to share your story knowing that your story serves a purpose for the community that you are trying to connect with to help them better their own journey. We are here to inspire, educate, inform, and to teach people as to, yeah, I've been there too. I've been in that boat. It was ugly. It was an ugly boat and it was broken. And I don't even know how we made it here today. Right. But we are here. But your vulnerability is always going to be key in getting to know yourself and knowing who you are serving. If you are serving everybody, you are actually serving nobody. And that seems ass backwards. But it's the truth after been there, done that, trying to talk to everybody.
Yes. And just to add to that, Samantha, I'm not sure how long you've been here, but we did a batch posting where we did a brain dump, and you can start there. Start by saying, okay, why did you say yes? Like she told you before, maybe it's personal. Who are you doing this for? Are you doing this for your kids? You can take a picture of your kids, make a post about that. What do you want to achieve? Those are some things that you can actually make a post about, and know that we do PLP for a reason, because we want you to understand that you got a gang of women behind you that's rooting for you, right? It's right. Not just so that we can just love on you and keep going. It's to say like, hey sis, we see you, we got you. Let me hype you up real quick, right? Like Katie is like the cheerleader, yes, but guess what? So am I. I will send you to new levels when it comes down to motivation. But I can always tell you, I can only motivate you as much as you're willing to motivate yourself, right? So you gotta put it in your head like, hey, you know what? I may not feel the best, but dang it, I'm going to let the world know that I have a story. I can tell you postpartum depression was mine, right? My husband did not want me to go out there and broadcast our business. Living paycheck to paycheck, that was my story, okay? Was it ugly? Was it, icky for me to go out there and tell people? Yes, because people thought that I had my life together and it was actually a hot mess express. The moment that I did that, I have conversations with people to this day that remember me posting about that 2 years ago. They're like, oh, I remember you posted about, your postpartum. I'm like, oh, y'all remember that? People are watching. They're taking notes. They want you to be their voice to say it's okay to not have your life together. It's okay to want more. It's okay to step out of the box. Like, I walked away from corporate America. I can tell you right now, no Black girl in any community does that. That is not the norm, right? You go to school, you work your way up the corporate ladder, and you stay there. You stay in that boat. Stepping out and doing what I'm doing right now, that is not the norm. But I did that not only for me, but for everybody that's coming after me, to let people know that it is okay to live your life, a life that people don't understand. But I had to get that in my mindset to know that, guess what? It's okay. It is okay. And you got to know that, sis. Like, it is okay to go out there and tell your story because somebody somewhere needs it. Especially this month. Like, this is our entire month, y'all. This is our month to slay, okay? Like, we got a whole month. I mean, we have today too, but we have a whole month, y'all. Like, let's slay, okay? So that's my 2 cents. I hope that helped you. If you need more advice, of course, you're inbox me. We can always talk. We can always chat. It is 7:31, Katie.
We're going to wrap it up. I'm going to leave it with this after we talked about going live and getting vulnerable and being bold. As often as we are scared to share our story, know that you are going to repel people. You are going to, like, the people who do not vibe with you will not connect with you. Guess what? You don't want them anyways. Stop sitting here trying to pull dead weight or trying to follow up with people you don't connect with. Focus on those that are investing time in you, that are already connecting with you, and serve them more value, and you will attract your people. Repel the ones with your story. If it shoves people away, so be it. You don't need to please everyone. You're not here to suit everybody. Okay? So this was really cool. Britt, thank you for the idea. I think this was awesome. If you guys are feeling it, maybe we can do this again. Maybe it's next Monday, or maybe we can do it every other week, to give it a break, not to give it a break, but to break up all of the nerdiness and the ideas and all of the things. So thank you everyone for popping on. Thank you for getting uncomfortable and turning on your cameras, asking questions, putting it out there. And again, just really take everything that you did away from tonight and go and apply it. Go apply, and we will see you in a few minutes on the MMM. Thank you guys.